To which the Dallas Mavericks said, "Hold my Luka Doncic." This was... Thank you. Thank you very much.
You know, on Friday, the Wall Street Journal ran an editorial saying that Trump's tariffs would cause the, quote, dumbest trade war in history. Of course, that was published before Dallas sent Luka Doncic to the Lakers.
Let's move on to this, because this is something I would like to see examined. Okay, so we know about Politico, we know about BBC, I would imagine Reuters, other places we'll look into. I listen to these late night monologues every day. Kimmel, Colbert, sometimes Seth Meyers, John Stewart when he shows up twice a week right now.
Self-torture?
Yeah. And I've noticed a disturbing trend. I get it that you run into the same concepts. But I'm willing to bet that if there isn't some kind of direct funding going on, and I do hope that Doge looks into it, that there are meetings that take place, because you can run into similar ideas. But you're about to see a supercut here, a montage. It's impossible, unless this is a coordinated effort, to make the same exact jokes about the same exact story using the same exact source and often time codes. And add on top of that, then use the same exact lies by omission, and display the same exact biases in not telling people certain portions of the story. So this is easy to just write this off as a story about copying jokes. But when you understand that this may be done for political expediency, boy, that makes it pretty scary when you understand what the role of a court jester is actually supposed to be. So let's, I think we have this montage right here from late night shows, some verbatim jokes to start off with. And not just verbatim jokes, but watch the RFK Jr., this story went on all day. Full day of hearings, and both of them picked the exact same clip from the exact same source of some relative of RFK who said something crazy that could not be less relevant to lead into the same exact joke. Proof.
Ambassador Kennedy gave an alarming example of Bobby's insane cruelty from his drug-fueled college days.
His basement, his garage, his dorm room were always the center of the action, where drugs were available, and he enjoyed showing off how he put baby chickens and mice in a blender to feed to his hawks.
Okay, that behavior is disgusting and cruel, and it completely disqualifies him from working for HHS and for Jamba Juice.
His first cousin, Caroline Kennedy, daughter of JFK, made a video opposing his confirmation and adding to the long list of crazy stories about this crazy person.
His basement, his garage, his dorm room were always the center of the action, where drugs were available, and he enjoyed showing off how he put baby chickens and mice in a blender to feed to his hawks.
Well, that explains why he lost the job at Jamba Juice.
So now, we have a 1-month ceasefire in what some liberal rag called the Wall Street Journal described as the dumbest trade war in history. To which the Dallas Mavericks said, "Hold my Luka Doncic." This was... Thank you. Thank you very much.
You know, on Friday, the Wall Street Journal ran an editorial saying that Trump's tariffs would cause the, quote, dumbest trade war in history. Of course, that was published before Dallas sent Luka Doncic to the Lakers.
Same exact source.
That's insane.
Think about that. One article at Wall Street Journal that says what they like to the same exact punchline. That doesn't happen by accident. It goes beyond just joke thievery, though the worst offender is Stephan Colbert, which is why Gerald is wearing the joke thief shirt. We can't see it, Toolman. If you can go to CrowderShop.com.
Now you can put it back
There's
up
the shirt.
There you go. Yeah, it's quite a bit of fun.
Nice. Go get it.
And here's the thing. Beyond that, you see these, and I really hope that people look, and I know this will be funneled through multiple different entities. Probably go to some kind of a nonprofit that probably goes to the parent company that probably goes to the network. But does anyone at this point doubt that these people are puppets for folks who tell them what to do? Because this is something else. When we're not even discussing jokes, now we're going to get into this area of just exposing how they cover stories. Here, they're not even telling jokes. So, for example, it's quite important for you to know in the tariff war with Canada that there were some demands made. We told you about that, that they were asking for border security. They were asking for, of course, Canada to start carrying their own weight Because if we shut down the southern border, well, fentanyl can just come through the northern border. Of course, the left try to say, well, there's not a lot of fentanyl coming in now. Well, that's the point. It'll just be the easy entry point unless something is done about it. So these were pretty reasonable requests that were made. And then Trudeau acquiesced. And so they were paused. Right? So the tariffs existed for about 2 days. Mexico capitulated immediately. Canada took an extra day. All right. But imagine if you were watching these shows, and by the way, I mean every single one of these shows, late night shows, and you saw them covering this story, and you didn't have another reference point. You would never have been told that Canada agreed to start helping securing the border.
Spoiler alert, just this afternoon, right? Late this afternoon, after their second phone call of the day, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Trump announced that, just like with Mexico, U.S. tariffs on Canada are going to be postponed by 30 days as the two countries negotiate a border deal.
What it is it's fake. He is pretending to issue tariffs so that Canada and Mexico can pretend to bend over for him, and then it'll look like he's the big hero. It's like wrestling.
Now, today, Mexico announced that they'd reached a deal with Trump to delay the tariffs for a month, which is fully how I expected this to play out because it's all bluster for the cameras.
Of course, by the way, since we even were writing this show at like 4 p.m., Trump has already said now he's going to pause the tariff war with Canada as well because...
Now, go to the liberal message boards. Go to Democratic Underground if you can create an account. Go to Reddit Politics. Not Reddit Liberal, not Reddit Democrat, Reddit Politics. And you will see that everyone there believes Donald Trump is a pussy who caved on his own tariffs. They don't know 10,000 guardsmen sent from Mexico to the border. They don't know billions of dollars that's going to be spent by Canada to help fight the war on fentanyl. They don't know that. That's why you can't find common ground. And then they blame you for creating an echo chamber. They blame you. Places like Politico, BBC, places like Associated Press, places like NBC, CBS, ABC, NBC News, MSNBC, whatever it is, CNBC, so many NBCs. Too many BCs.
Too many.
Think about that. They demand that you be banned and blame you for creating an echo chamber. They didn't cover the most important aspect of that story, not to mention verbatim ripped each other off on jokes. And then they say people on the right can't be funny. They say it's misinformation on the right. Hey, right here, all references available. And they say, oh, conservatives can't be funny. Well, hey, we'll go tit for tat. You're welcome on this show anytime. You probably need the ratings.
That reminds me, I'm sorry, Stephen, that I haven't written any Jamba Juice jokes.
I know.
Yeah, well.
It's tough because it doesn't exist anymore.
I'm sorry.
I was going to write some on Smoothie King and Orange Julius, but I thought, they went back. What about Bennigan's? I'm at the point where I'd rather watch current day Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon. That would be more entertaining.
I love it. Look, when you were putting this, you were putting in a thread and just saying, "Hey guys, check this stuff out." I was like, "Oh, okay." I'm sure they're like similar. I had no idea. It was like almost word for word, like in some cases.
Well, here's the thing. Just going through that RFK one, all right? You have an entire day of material. So you mean to tell me that each room of, let's call it 20 to 40 something writers, producers, they looked at an entire day of hearings. And every single person thought that those exact time codes, is her name Carolyn Kennedy? The cousin? Every single one of them picked those exact same time codes and those comments from a relative on RFK regarding his pet birds, which is probably the least relevant. It's basically just a character assassination. It has nothing to do with the hearings. Yeah. They all settled on that exactly, and then all said Jamba Juice joke.
Well, that's the thing is that they didn't go through all that footage. They've got to be getting this information from a blog, from an email, from somebody who's, it's the approved content or whatever. They're not watching the whole day of the RFK hearings. They're getting an email that goes, hey, look what happened in the RFK hearings. And they go, oh, let's write a joke about the onesie thing.
Yes.
And they're all getting the same one.
Best case scenario, they are all using the exact same original source for their material, and then they blame you for misinformation and an echo chamber. And I'm willing to bet there absolutely are some taxpayer dollars at play there. The host may not even know it. I'd bet my life on it. Someone please look into it. Hey, if you like this video, you can hit the notification bell there to know when new videos come out, because I don't think subscriptions are still a thing on YouTube, but you know, you're an adult, most likely, so you can just choose one of the videos here to keep watching, and hopefully it's similar. I don't know what it is.